was just like any other night. Obviously, we have advertisements and commitments that we have, but we keep it pretty fast paced when we do fights.
But in retrospect, how do you feel about the difference between, let's say, 200 and 300, and how much easier it is to be in the marketplace as UFC, as a combat sports operation, and having those kind of partnerships? I mean, it hasn't been that long ago where you couldn't even go to New York City.
No, you're right. And it took, when I was talking about Power Slap has been around for 14 months. They have more sponsors than UFC did in 7 years. So obviously, the early days of building this company in the sport are a lot different than today. I mean, and that's one of the biggest pieces of growth for the company has been sponsorship. It's massive and continues to grow.
Just one more for me. So we're talking about having UFC in the Sphere for Mexican Independence Day weekend. Recently, Matchroom has floated the idea of perhaps bringing Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano as a rematch into the Sphere, maybe as early as June. How do you feel about that? And I know that it's been a big deal to be the first combat sports operation to go into the Sphere.
I love Eddie Hearn. I consider him a friend. Ain't happening. Sorry, Eddie. Love you, buddy. You can go in the Sphere in October.
Dana, down here,
Dana,
right? You said earlier this week that you think that in the future, eventually, you would be able to top this event because you have a history of topping your biggest events. Do you think after seeing tonight that that's going to be possible?
That's a great question, brother. And here we are again. I say this all the time. How do we beat 300? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question, but we're going to find out.
You were very generous with the news of 301, 302, and 303. Any update on 304, which is potentially rumored for the UK?
Which is the UK fight? Yeah, we have nothing done yet, but I pretty much said already we're going to Manchester. We don't have a deal done. We don't have anything done yet, but we're going to Manchester. And let me just remind you all what it's like to be in Manchester. One of the greatest events that I've ever been to was when we first went into Manchester. That place is awesome. The fans, the crowd, I'm looking very forward to that.
You mentioned, obviously, that time was 2:04, I believe, but that was at 3 o'clock in the morning. Will it be at a normal time in the UK?
We don't have a deal done yet. I don't know anything yet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dana, currently, Weili and Yan's fight attract over 30 billion views social media back in China. From your perspective, 30 billion views among social media. So from your perspective, how big is the fight, impact to the Asian market?
Great question. Sir, where are you from?
From China.
I figured that, but where are you from?
Oh, I'm from Migu, China Migu.
Okay, got it. So, nobody knows better than you how hard it is to trend #1 in China, right? We've been #1 for 2 days trending in China.
Exactly.
Which is unbelievable. And yes, this was a massive sporting event in China. This is like the first time we've done well in China. This is the first time we've really broken through in China. And like, I didn't know the 30 billion. So thank you. Yeah, it's been incredible. Yeah.
Just follow up with the question, Sega. Probably not this year, but how soon you want to bring the UFC back to China after?
Yeah, somebody asked me that earlier. I don't know exactly when we're heading back there, but a night like tonight doesn't hurt, and yeah, it's all good. I'm excited.
Thank you, Dana.
Thank you, sir. One more, last one.
Right here.
What's up,
I want to ask you about the in entertainment environment with the bracelets and everything that going on, the wrists and everything like that with the lights going along with the show, the atmosphere and stuff like that. What did you make of it?
I made it. What's the question? What did I make of it? I made it.
In terms
That's what
of,
we
like,
do.
Your expectation versus the reality of it.
It was awesome. So you know what I did during one of the fights? People always ask me this question. I watch the monitor. I watch very little of the actual live. I'll look up every once in a while, and I'm on my phone the whole fucking time. People think I'm like I don't give a shit about the fights. All I care about is the production, the live production in-house, and the television production. So tonight, I left during one of the fights and came back to my green room and watched. We have big screen back there, and I watched it on TV, and with the lights and all, it was incredible. It looked incredible on TV. Just like I always say about Power Slap and obviously UFC, the production is incredibly important to me. It's the only things that I really focus on a daily basis is finding young up-and-coming talent, making sure we put on the right fights in the right place at the right time, and in-house live television production in-house production and live television production. So that's what I focus on literally every day in the office, and other little bullshit here and there, but that's my main focus. So when we have an event like tonight, and you look at young talent that's on the card tonight, how they performed, how the thing looked in-house and how it felt, the energy and the buzz, and how it looked on television, right? And then you look at the fights that delivered tonight. You couldn't have a bigger fucking home run than tonight. So
And a
I
quick
hope I answered your question.
You did. And a quick follow-up about Dreykus. You've seen him in the crowd and everything like that. Do you have any plans on where you're going to have him, who he's going to fight, if it's going to be Izzy or the winner of Whitaker, Chimaev, anything like that?
We're working on it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.